Problem 5, it's an absolute value. Remember, an absolute value is usually going to be two solutions because you can have a positive solution or a negative solution. It's a V, and usually we're saying, oh, it can cross the x axis in two spots. So there's going to be two solutions here. So, how do we start it? Well, we want to isolate this absolute value. So I'm going to go ahead and move this number over to be with the other number on the other side. That'll help get this a little bit by itself. So I add 2, add 2. I have the absolute value of this equals 9 plus 2 is 11. So I know what's inside here could be a positive 11. It could also be a negative 11 because the absolute value of 11 is 11. Absolute value of negative 11 is 11. So I simply say, hey, what's going to make that n plus 1 be the positive piece? What's going to make that n plus 1 be the negative 11? So I simply set it equal to the positive piece, set it equal to the negative piece. I'm now going to subtract 1, subtract 1. When is n equal to 10 would be one possibility. The other possibility is when n is negative 12. So we say, hey, the solutions are n is equal to 10 or when n is equal to negative 12. Another one. Okay, now this time it is an inequality that makes it a little bit harder. No big deal. The absolute value is already isolated, so we're looking for when is it less than 13. Now, if we think about this, absolute value is how far away you are from 0. We're saying we want to be less than 13 feet away. Okay, we want to be from one spot to the other, so we want to be within 13 feet. Well, the way we go about this is we say 2n plus 1 is less than or equal to 13. That's less than, right? Less than. So this is an and situation. I want it to be less than that 13, but I also need the opposite piece, okay, the negative piece to be within 13 feet. So I'm going to do the negative piece. This is where we always set them up. We simply set it up exactly as the equation is without the absolute value. And then we look at the negative of this piece less than 13. We're going to come in here and we're going to divide by negative 1. We're going to divide by negative 1. And we're going to get the 2n plus 1 greater than or equal to a negative 13. And again, a lot of teachers simply say, oh, on this right-hand side, you just change that and put him as a negative. But I like you to sort of see what we're doing. So if I just put opposite of that 2n plus 1 is less than 13, the negative piece, and then I divide by negative 1, which will always flip my sign, will always make this side become negative, we're then going to have our equation that we can solve. 2n bigger than or equal to negative 14. I divide by 2. I have n is bigger than or equal to negative 7. Over here, much easier. I subtract 1, subtract 1. 2n less than or equal to a 12. And I have n is less than or equal to 6. So we have n is smaller than 6. And at the same time, though, because this is an and, it's a less than. N is less than or equal to 6. And it's got to be bigger than negative 7. That tells me it's between negative 7 and 6. If you think of this number line, here's negative 7, here's 6. It's got to be bigger than or equal, so it's going that way, but yet it's got to stay less than that 6. So it's between negative 7 and 6. So we would normally say negative 7 and 6, 6, and it's between them. Alligators must eat towards a bigger number, and it's both or equal to's in this case because the equation said it was or equal to. We could put this in interval notation if you wanted, bracket meaning it includes it, but I prefer probably this for right now.